Recording is on.
Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to day 4 of the AI program. And today we are going to be talking on portfolio and also proof of work. So, once again, my name is Goodness, and I'm really excited to have you here today again. So far, we've talked about gaining clarity, which is the first thing we talked about on the first day. So if you have not seen that video, go back and see the video. Day 2, we talked about building your CV, right? How to build your CV and how to get jobs. And then day 3, we spoke on optimizing your LinkedIn. And so today, which is day 4, we're going to be speaking on portfolio and proof of work. I hope you guys are ready for today. Okay, because I'm really excited for today and I hope you are too. So let's get started, right? Let's get started. So, I hear a lot of people say, I don't have experience. But the thing is, that's not always true. Do you know why? Because you may not have a job yet, but you still have proof. What is proof? What is proof of work? Proof of work is very simple. Proof of work is showing what you can do, not saying it, but showing it. Does it make sense? So, um, what counts as proof of work? What can count as proof of work? It could be a project that you created, it could be a redesign, it could be a case study, it could be a simple task, it could be a personal project, it could be any of this, right? So for example, if you are a UX designer, your proof of work could be, redesigning an app or a website, right? If you're a data analyst, you could analyze a data set and present the insight. If you are a social media manager, you could create a content strategy for a brand and then implement it for them. Does that make sense? So you might not have work experience, but you can show proof of work. You can show what you can do. You can show, okay, this is a website, I have redesigned it, I have proof of work, even if you don't have like the work experience. And also, you can volunteer and then, show the work that you did as a volunteer. All right. So if you're starting out, one of the best ways for you to get job experience, show your proof of work is through volunteer as well, and also personal projects, right? Okay, great. So let's move forward. So you can just pick one project if you're just starting out. Just pick one project. Don't overcomplicate it. Start with one project. Something simple, something you can complete. That's very important. Make sure it's something you can complete. Don't start something and then not complete it. Make sure that the project you're picking is something simple and then something you can complete. And then you turn it into a case study. Does it make sense? Now, this is where most people are getting it wrong because they just show the work, but they don't explain what they did, right? So you don't just show your work, you also want to explain what you did. And that's what we call a case study, really. A case study helps um, people understand number one, your thinking process. No, your thinking, your process, and then your decision. How you're thinking, the process in which you took to solve that problem, and then the decision you made on that project, right? So a simple case study structure would go problem, right? You show the problem, which is what was the problem, right? What was the problem? And then the second thing it's going to show is the goal. What were you trying to achieve while doing this project? And then the next thing is the process. That's the step by step process that you took to complete this project. And then the solution. What did you create? What did you come up with? And then the result, which is the outcome. What was the outcome, right? um so yes, that's what a simple case study structure looks like. So let's look at an AI prompt to help you, write out a very good case study for your project. Good. Let me see. Sure. Okay. Okay, so an AI prompt to help you with this is you can see it on the screen. So you're going to ask AI to act as an hiring manager, right? And say, turn my project into a compelling case study that clearly shows my skill, my thinking process, and my problem solving ability. Make it clear, make it clear and structured, professional but easy to read. This is also very important. You want to make it professional, but you also want to make it easy to read, right? You want to also focus on impact and the decision you make, and then suitable for a portfolio. You want to also make it suitable for a portfolio. Now you're going to ask it to, number one, include the problem, number two, include the goal, number three, include the process, number four, include the solution, and then number five, include the result, right? And then you're not going to show your project to ChatGPT. You say, here is my project. And then you're going to write out the project that you did. Now, don't overcomplicate this. You can just explain to ChatGPT what you did in this project. Give it all the data that you have. Give it what you already created, even if it's not like well structured. ChatGPT is going to, structure it for you using this prompt that we just used. Is that clear? Good. So let's move on. Let me stop sharing my screen. Good, let's move on. So now you also want to make sure that you're documenting your work, because I mean, if you don't document the project that you did, there is no way you're going to be able to tell ChatGPT to help you structure it. So as you're working, you want to make sure that you're writing it down, you're keeping it in one place, you're documenting, even if it's not well structured, you want to make sure that you are documenting, and then also share your process. See, yesterday we talked about LinkedIn. This is one of the ways to show what you're working on, right? So share it, share your process, share what you're working on, and all of that. Then you also want to show it when you're done. Show your project as well. Show it on your link, add it to your LinkedIn, turn it to a post, or then save it, and then save it as part of your portfolio. Your portfolio is not just one case study or one project, so you want to save it as part of your portfolio. Now, let's move forward. So, what makes your portfolio stand out? Really? What makes your portfolio stand out? See, your portfolio does not stand out because of design, your portfolio does not stand out because of colors, your portfolio does not stand out because of fancy layout, right? Your portfolio stand out if it is if it clearly explains the problem that you're solving, right? Your portfolio stand out if it shows your thinking process. Your portfolio stand out if the project there shows what you did, it shows results, it is easy to read and understand, right? So your portfolio is not just all about fancy layout and all of that. You want to make sure that the case studies in your portfolio, again, a portfolio comprises of several case studies, several projects, and all of that. That's what makes it a portfolio. That's like proof of work, right? So you want to make sure that all the projects that are there are well written out. You're showing the problem you solved, you're showing your thinking process, you're showing what you did, right? So a lot of people get this wrong. They just show the final result, which does not work 90% of the time. You don't just show your final process. You don't just you just you don't explain your process, right? You just show the final result. You don't explain your process. So you want to make sure you're explaining your process. One thing a lot of people also get wrong is you try to make it perfect instead of clear. And if you're trying to make your portfolio perfect, trust me, you will never have a portfolio. So just make it clear enough and put it out there. And I always tell people, you can always remove projects from your portfolio. You don't have to wait till it's perfect, right? Start with what you have right now. And then as you grow in your career, you start removing some projects that, you just feel like, oh no, I've grown past this, right? Okay, so don't overcomplicate your portfolio. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just, work on it using all of the things that I mentioned, right? So what you should do instead is show your thinking process, show your thinking, explain your decision, make it easy for someone to understand your work. That is the goal. Make it easy for someone to understand your goal, right? So your first project does not need to be perfect. Trust me, a lot of us, our first project was not perfect. So your first project does not need to be perfect. It just needs to exist. And that's the goal. It just needs to exist. And once it exists, you can start removing some things and then adding some new things, right? If you're waiting for it to be perfect again, you would never have a portfolio because you just want to do something else. You want to add something else. There is something you want to resume. You want to remove. There is something that you feel like, oh no, this is not perfect enough, and all of that, right? So yeah. The next question, I know the next question after, we've talked about this case study proof of work and all of that, is where do I put it? Where do I put my case studies and all of that? Because, your work should not just stay on your device, or like after you're done doing it, it's just like on your device and all of that. You want it to be visible. So I'm going to just share some um a few places that you can put it based on your field. So if you're a UX designer, you can have your portfolio on Dribble, you can have it on Behance, you can have a personal portfolio website, and I think right now you can also have a portfolio on Contra if you're a UX designer. If you're a data analyst, you can use GitHub, you can use Notion. If you are a social media manager, you can, use the same. You can use Notion as well. You can have a personal portfolio website, right? If you're a product manager, you can use Notion, you can use a personal website as well. So basically, these are some of the places that you can put your portfolio. So today's class is not a long class, right? I think that right now we have learned a lot, especially when it comes to portfolio and how your portfolio should look like, how to write a standout case study and all of that, right? So my task for you today is to create your case study. Create your case study. Any project you've worked on, use the prompt that I gave you to, create a case study, and then upload it on at least one platform. And I also want you to share it on LinkedIn. Remember, yesterday we talked extensively on posting on LinkedIn, right? So share it on LinkedIn as well. On final note, I want you to know that it is very, very important to have a portfolio that stands out, because that's your proof of work. You need to know that people don't just hire potential. I know how to do it and all of that. No, they want to see what you have done. So they hire proof. They don't hire potential. People don't just hire potential, they hire proof. So start building and showing your work today. You don't need a perfect portfolio. Trust me, you just need a visible one. You don't need a perfect portfolio, because I don't think there is a place that a portfolio will get to and then it is perfect. There is always something to add, there is always something to remove. So you just want your portfolio to be visible, right? Um, Opportunities comes from what people can see, right? Opportunities comes from what people can see. So not what you keep to yourself. Opportunities don't come from what you keep to yourself. Opportunities come from what people can see. So with that, we have come to the end of today's session. So see you tomorrow, day 5. Thank you so much for your time, and bye.